Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your reading. So, this is the reading for Virgo Sun, Moon, and Rising for January 2021. And Virgo, I already got your cards here in the pre shuffle, so we'll go straight into your reading. So, first, I have for you a card that represents you, how you're stepping into this 2021 energy, and we have the World. The last card in the Fool's Journey. So, a sense of completion, of having accomplished something in 2020, of closing a cycle. But more than that, do you see here at the top? I don't know if you can see from there, but there is a keyhole. There is a sun. I think that this is the moon, and then we have the earth here. And in the sun, we have a keyhole. And I see this as an opening of a new door. So even though the world talks about finishing a cycle, I think that this is also a big beginning of a new cycle for you in 2021. So there is something here that you are starting, a new phase that you're entering, and a new cycle that you're entering because you have closed off something in 2020. You have completed something. There's something that came to an end here. And I think that this is very psychological. I don't see this as something bad, as something that is coming to an end. It's really a completion, something that you have been working on, and now you can wrap it up and say, okay, I have done everything I had to do in that situation, and now I can start something new. So it's a very refreshing energy here to start 2021. And then we have the card of your environment. So how is your environment showing up? How are the people around you or the situations around you? And we have the Seven of Air, which is the Seven of Swords. And it's interesting because I don't usually like this card in the Rider-Waite, because this is a card of, if it's an environment, then there is something sketchy about it, something a bit dodgy, something a bit hidden, something that is being kept from you. So it's a sense of a place where you can't completely trust everybody. And for some reason, I'm not really liking these ducks down here. But we do have 7 birds in this picture because it is the Seven of Swords, the Seven of Air. But 2 of these birds here at the top are 2 doves. And she is an angel. But for some reason, I don't like these ducks. It's almost as if these ducks, they don't fit in with you. It's like you are someone else. You are something else among these ducks. And for me, it's like they are looking at you asking, who is this? You are not like us. You don't belong here. But then there are these 2 doves that I see this as if they are coming to the rescue of this person, saying, it's okay that you don't belong with them, because actually you belong with us. You belong somewhere else. There is a place for you. The fact that you don't belong with these ducks doesn't mean that you are wrong or that you're bad. You're just different. So I see this as feeling as if you don't fit among some people around you, and some people around you feeling that you don't fit in with them. And I think that this can generate a certain feeling of being excluded, being rejected, or being inadequate in that situation. But what I want to call your attention here is the 2 doves coming to the rescue. So you don't need to fit into every situation. So for instance, let's use the birds as an example. If you look in the animal kingdom, you have so many bird species, and if you get an eagle and put them among ducks, yeah, they won't fit, but that doesn't mean that either the ducks or the eagle are inadequate. It just means that they are connecting with the wrong birds, right? Not the wrong birds, but the birds that they are just too different. They can't understand each other. So both might feel inadequate. And whoever is in a bigger group can bully the other one into thinking that, no, but don't you see? We are all ducks. We are all the same. We are all similar. So you are the wrong here. You don't belong. But that's not true. It's just that you are the minority there. But if you go to a place where it's close to many eagles' nests, I actually don't know if eagles live in places where they live close to each other. I don't know if it's a very lonely animal or not. But if you go to a certain mountain region where you have many eagles' nests, and then you won't see ducks there, but that doesn't also mean that the ducks are inadequate. It's just, it depends on where you are, what kind of people you're connecting. So with this card appearing here in the environment, I think that it's important that you connect people who are like you, who are like-minded, who understand you. Some people might be fun to get along with, but they might make you feel inadequate. So a way around it is to connect with people deeply. You can still be acquainted with these people who are very different from you, but really seek your connections with the people who are like-minded and who accept you and understand you, because that will help mitigate this sense of inadequacy. So let's take a look at your tarot cards. Yeah, interesting. Here, right on, we already have the Eight of Swords, sorry, which comes right after that Seven of Swords that I was talking about. So there is this sense of being entrapped by the environment. Four of Cups in the reverse. Nine of Wands in the reverse. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I got a very similar reading for you for mid-December. Seven of Swords in the reverse here. Look, so we got the Seven of Swords twice. And sorry for the noise, the streets are very noisy today, so I don't know if it's catching up on the microphone. But we got the Seven of Swords here twice. But here it's in the reverse, and I find it interesting how it's right under the Eight of Swords. So it does really accentuate this feeling for me that it is the environment that is causing you to feel trapped. It's like people making you feel as if you are inadequate, and then you hold yourself back. You do think that you are inadequate yourself, but that's just a reflex of the environment that you're connecting with. The Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, right in the middle of your reading. The Nine of Swords. So look how interesting, because we got the 7, the 8, and the 9 of Swords already. The Queen of Cups in the reverse. The 5 of Cups. And the Page of Cups in the reverse. Okay, that's quite interesting to me, because I got a very similar feeling from I think it was the Gemini reading. So if you have placements in Gemini, either Sun, Moon, or Rising in Gemini, I think you should go ahead and watch that reading as well. Because for every other zodiac, I've been talking in rows. So every row is clearly telling a story to me. But your reading and the Gemini reading, for me, it's almost as if there is this card in the middle, and there are all the other situations going around it and complementing it. Yours is a bit more defined as a row, but I still have this feeling of everything kind of pointing to the middle, to this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse here. So the main message that I'm getting with all this is that, yeah, I do think that 2021 is a year in which you need to find the place where you belong, your world, right? And you show up here as the world. And that opening of new doors, this could definitely be you connecting more with people who are more like you, who have similar interests, who want the best for you. Not people who are putting you down or making you feel that you're not doing enough. Anyone who makes you feel bad about yourself, I think you should review the kind of connection you have with them. And that doesn't mean that you should cut them out of your life, but at least make a shift in the way you connect with them. Maybe spend less time with them, maybe put less energy in them. Because with this Eight of Swords, I keep saying Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords did show up here, but with this Eight of Swords, right on top of the Seven of Swords in the reverse. It is a toxic environment that you don't need, and the problem is that it's leading straight into this Queen of Cups in the reverse. And how I see this is almost as if you connect with some people who are not good for you or who make you feel bad about yourself. And then instead of saying, oh, okay, so maybe these people are not good for me, maybe I should distance myself a bit from these people in specific. No, it's almost as if you close yourself off. You absorb the image that they are projecting on you, and then you close yourself off. And then this might make you close yourself more inside yourself, like more and more and more and more. Keep hiding the deeper parts of you, hiding your emotions, and also hiding whatever friendship or love you have to offer. Because do you see that the Queen of Cups here, she holds this cup, but it has a lid on and it's closed because she knows not to give her love to anyone. She knows that she has a lot of emotions, a lot of caring to give to others, but she needs to filter who she gives this to. And with her in the reverse here, I feel like you might hold it in completely because you think that no one wants it or no one deserves it or whatever it is. But it's almost as if, because this is a fixed card for me, this is a card of Scorpio, but it's almost as if she becomes even more fixed here, so more closed off. And I see that as well with this Four of Cups in the reverse here. It's almost as if you are afraid to accept anything now, to accept new people, to connect with new people, because you're just not getting very good experiences from connecting with people in general. And then we have the Nine of Wands in the reverse here, which again gives me the same feeling, because the Nine of Wands in the upright, it talks about a guy who went to war and he came back. So he is a bit PTSD. But if this card is balanced, he can use that PTSD as a experience, as an experience to deal with the new situations. So he won't let that fear hold him back, but he will use this as knowledge. He became wiser. But in the reverse, he might let himself go completely inside that feeling of being trapped, of fear, of thinking that everybody is out there to get him. A lot of pessimism. And this pessimism for me is also expressed here with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse and the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a card of worry, of nightmares, of being awake at night, just worrying. It's a card of a lot of worries, and these are all mental. So here, I'm not seeing as anything bad happening to you. That's the thing. It really seems to me that it's all in the mind. And even the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, usually when this card shows up, I see the situation going down, so the wheel is turning down and there is some karma coming, but not here, not in your reading. I don't have the feeling that there is something coming up. I feel that all this is fear, all internal fear, everything in your head. You were expecting the worst. I really don't see something bad coming up here, but I see your fears getting the best of you. And be careful with that, because you might end up manifesting that. So the more you expect something bad to happen, you might put so much energy into that you might just create this huge thought form of something bad happening that might actually come to reality. So in the month of January, there's a big theme of taming your mind. And it's interesting that the Strength card didn't show up here, because I think that this is something big that you need to learn in January. Tame your mind. Tame your fears, your own negative thoughts, your own expectations that everything will turn badly, that something horrible will happen. This is a very important lesson with all the cards here, because they keep on going. Also with the Five of Cups and the Page of Cups in the reverse. I said 9 again. See how strongly this 9 of swords is coming up? Because even in cards that have nothing to do with it, I keep saying 9, 9, 9. And we have this 9 of swords here. So there's just so much fear, so much mental stress going on here, and it's time to release it. So going back here with I was about to say 9 again, with the 5 of cups and the page of cups in the reverse. Again, it's mourning so much what is lost or what is perceived as lost. And I think that this 5 of cups for me is very connected with the 9 of swords. I don't think, maybe for some of you, you did indeed lose something and you are still mourning it. But the general message that I'm getting here for most of you is that you didn't even lose anything. But you are mourning the loss of something that you created in your mind. So it's like, maybe you are very afraid that you're going to lose your job, for instance. Let's just give an example. And then it's almost as if you are awake at night suffering, as if you did lose that job already. But it didn't. You have your job and it's there and you're working on it. But it's almost as if you are suffering on it as if it has already happened. So I don't see this 5 of cups here as something that is real, something that is going on. There's just a lot of fear going on here. And even with the page of cups in the reverse, because when the page of cups is in the upright, he's a dreamer. He's a dreamer. For instance, he's seeing this fish inside his cup. He's looking at all the possibilities, everything that can be. But in the reverse and right under the 9 of swords, I see this as a nightmare, as a dream going sour. So expecting the worst out of the situation, expecting a shark to come out of this cup and bite right on you. So let's take a look at an animal spirit card here that I have for you, which is about some energies around you that you should be aware of, either in yourself or around, or it can also be the energy that you should embody. I will get the message once I see it. Okay, so we got the peacock. And the peacock for me here, it ties with what I said in the very beginning about the 7 of air. And in my last pick a card reading, there is one of the groups that got a peacock message. And I'm gonna link it up here so you can check it. I don't know if you will get that group, but I will link it anyway because maybe there is a message there for you. But I talk about the peacock. And one interesting thing for me that I'm picking up here, the same message that I said in that group, in the pick a card. And it is that this is a magnificent animal. But he might not be aware of that. Because the thing is, can he see his own tail? Can he see how beautiful he is? So I don't think that the peacock is aware of his own beauty. And what I was saying with the 7 of swords in the beginning here is that if you are in the wrong environment, if you are connecting with the wrong people, you might feel that you are inadequate. But that's just because those people are very different from you. That doesn't mean that either you or them are bad, are wrong, or anything like that. It's just that you are so different that that environment is not conducive for you to acknowledge your own beauty, your own gifts. So with the peacock here, it's very important for you to be more confident in who you are and what you bring to the plate. To see yourself in this more optimistic light. Because other people, when they look at you, the people who care about you, when they look at you, they know that you're a peacock. They see your tail. And even if your tail is closed, they still know the beauty that you are keeping in. The fact that the tail is closed doesn't make the peacock less beautiful, right? It's just that the tail at that moment is closed. But it's still a beautiful animal. And I think that the people around you, the people who care about you, they see that and they recognize that, but you might not recognize that yourself. And that's why it's important to surround yourself with people who are like-minded, people who truly care about you, because they see this beauty in you. They are the ones. If you connect yourself with ducks, yeah, there's nothing wrong about being a duck. But they might look at you and make you think that you're not good enough because you're not like them. But if you connect with people who can see the peacockness in you, let's say, or who are peacocks themselves, then you will feel much more at home in your own body, in your own life, in your own abilities, and it will help you see the value in yourself. And yeah, I think that this is a very similar reading to December, right? I think I said something like this to you in mid-December. Okay, so since I'm very curious, I want to take a better look at these energies here. So I'm gonna get some extra cards for you, either some extra messages or just an explanation of some of the things, whatever is hidden here, whatever else we need to see, acknowledge, or just an advice. I'm gonna get some cards for you. Okay, so we got the Hermit here, which is your card, is a Virgo card. Actually, I'm gonna stop and talk about the Hermit first a bit. It's so interesting because there's a bird here. So right here, there's a bird. And the Hermit is your card, right, as I said. And for me, it's a strong Virgo representation because Virgo is all about being self-reliant. A lot of people don't see that. A lot of people don't know that about Virgos. They think that the stronger, more active signs, zodiacs like Aries, they are the self-reliable, self-contained ones. But actually, Virgo is a huge example, a huge interpretation of self-reliance. For instance, if you have your Venus in Virgo, Venus especially, if Venus is in Virgo, it's someone who is very self-fulfilled. Usually these people, they don't need relationships as much as others because they have everything they have in themselves. It's that purity is the virgin. Actually, the Venus in Virgo is the representation of the virgin. And in the Hermit card, we have this man with a staff and a lamp, and he travels only with those. He can rely on himself. So again, you are stronger than you think. You have everything you need. But still, we have the bird here communicating, and these birds are coming out. We got the peacock, we got all those 7 birds and the 7 of air. And for me, again, this is a representation of connecting yourself with people who are similar to you, who think like you, who not in a way of being close-minded, like I would just want to connect with people who are exactly like me because I'm close-minded to open myself to other people. It's not like that. But it's important to find our tribe, to connect with people who have similar values so that we feel that we belong somewhere. But the most important thing here is to know that you belong with yourself. The Hermit belongs with himself. Okay, so here we got the Stag, which is the Justice card. And for me, again, it talks about that balance. So the justice is being at the right place at the right time. The situation is exactly as it should be. But here I see this connection between you and the environment. So having that balance. I think that this talks a lot about connections, about the right connections. And also what I find interesting in this representation here of the justice is that he has this big shield and the machete. So for me, it brings back that message about being defensive, being trapped by the environment. While if you connect with people who are more receptive to you, you don't need to protect yourself so much. Okay. Yeah, there's so much conflict, internal conflict going on here. Because now we got the 2 of Stones, which is the 2 of Pentacles. And in this deck, it's called Challenge. So I keep seeing this thing of you against the world, you against the world, and this causing a big stress. And at the same time, as I said, I think that this is all mental. I don't see this as something tangible, as a real conflict going on. And maybe for some of you it is. Some of you are indeed going through a challenge, through a conflict. Also with the justice card here. For some of you, this could even be a legal battle that you're going through. So maybe if you're going through a divorce, or if you are fighting in the justice, I don't know, suing a company, suing whatever it is, if there is a legal matter going on here, this could be something that is putting all this stress on you. I have to put this message out there. I don't think that it will fit a lot of you, but I do see this connection with the Two of Stones challenge with the Justice card here. But I think that for most of you, it talks about this internal struggle, this internal battle of feeling that it's hard to connect with the environment right now. But with the World card that we opened, I do think that this is something that you will start realizing and shifting away from, because of that keyhole that I said in the beginning. And the keyhole keeps calling my attention because it's right in the sun. But you know what is interesting as well? Because we have the Earth, the planet Earth here, and then we have the moon, and then we have the sun. So we need to pass through the moon. We need to pass by the moon before we get to the sun. And it's the same in the tarot, right? We leave the tower, and then we go to the star. We go to the moon card, and then we go to the sun. And the moon talks about this feeling lost, feeling unsafe, walking through uncertainty. That can be very scary, but we are walking towards the sun. I'm sorry, Virgo, I don't know what's happening. It's the second time that your reading stops recording. So I'm not sure exactly where my camera stopped recording. I'm gonna edit this later, but what I was saying about the World card is that I see you here at the Earth, and you are moving towards the sun. And this is the journey of the Fool. So in the tarot, we have the Tower, then we have the Star card, then we have the moon, and then we have the sun. I'm sorry. And the moon is that space of uncertainty, of walking through the shadow of the moon, of not feeling completely safe, but going through this journey that is not completely illuminated, but we just keep walking on it because we know we have to do it. So you are moving towards the sun. You are moving towards this keyhole of a new cycle, a new beginning, new social groups, new job, new whatever it is that you are starting anew in 2021. But the way to get there is passing by the moon first. So walking through the uncertainty. And now I'm gonna get some oracle cards for you. Okay. And we got new moon in Virgo, your sign. A time to give rather than take. And there was another zodiac that also got this same card. I need to meditate on this card a little bit. A time to give rather than take. You know what it brings to me? Because, as I said before, Virgo is a very self-contained zodiac. And at the same time, your opposite axis, your opposite sign is Pisces, which is the axis of service. Virgo and Pisces, actually, they are both zodiacs of service. But Virgo is that mundane sixth house service, and the Pisces is more giving to the whole humanity open-heartedly and without expectations. So for me, I think that this card here talks about not having so many expectations. And yeah, actually that's what I'm getting. And also not having so many expectations with the people that you're connecting with. Because maybe some people have been disappointing you. And I know that we all have expectations, and it's part of human nature, it's normal. But I think that the more expectations you have with some people around you, the worse you feel. So I think that this is a moment in which it's important to release your expectations. You will need to give freely. Whatever love or care you give to these people, whatever way you choose to connect with them, And I'm talking about these people of the Seven of Air, right? I'm talking about these people. I think that it will be important to connect with them with low expectations, because otherwise they might disappoint you. So it's better to give selflessly than to expect something being returned here. Let's get some more. Okay, this one wanted building blocks, and I want one more. And with these building blocks, it reminds me of the world again that I said. You are moving towards the sun, but you need to go through the moon first. So don't expect to see results now in January. This is the month in which you are closing a cycle, but not necessarily starting the new one yet. And fork on the road. So we got here, fork on the road. I think that indeed you might feel quite lost about, even because of these building blocks. You might not know which direction to go yet. And I think it's okay, because you're still closing the world. So you're still closing the cycle of 2020. You're not starting this new one yet, but though you don't know which one you're starting yet, I think it's just because you're still wrapping up the endings of these cycles, which for me confirms here, because I just saw, I don't know numerology, so I don't usually talk to you about the numbers in the cards, because I don't have any knowledge in numerology, so I'm not going to pretend I do. But we have the number 13 here. And as soon as I saw this, I thought, because the number 13 is the death card in the tarot, which is a card of transformation. And it ties to me very well with the world, with this closing of cycles. So I'm just telling you that it's okay. It's okay to feel a bit lost right now. It's okay if you don't know where you're going, where you're moving towards. It's fine. It's completely okay, and it's completely normal. So don't ask that from yourself. Just keep on moving with the Hermit here. Just let the cycle, whatever it is, close to you. And focus on your self-worth, focus on authentic connections. And when the moment comes, you will know which direction to choose. Okay, Virgo, so this is all I have for you today, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you did enjoy, please don't forget to like and subscribe down below. I do work with private consultations, both with astrological charts and tarot readings. I have my website linked at the description box, so if you would like to check the options that I have for my readings, please check my website. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.